Look, it's another unboxing. It's really hot today, so I can't really be arsed. Normally, I didn't know what I'm getting, but now I really didn't know what I'm getting because the coronavirus epidemic has knocked the entire schedule all off. Oh, you, get out of here. Fantastic Force Epic Collection. The Name Is Doom. One of the few fun facts for this video is that this collection was originally solicited with the name By Ben Betrayed, but then they changed the name and I didn't know why. This collects some more of the Stanley Lee, Jack Quimby Fantastic Four stories, some of the most classic and revered comic books of all time. This is volume 5, collecting stuff from 1967 to 1969. We have got Fantastic Force issues 68 through to 87 and annual 6. And then some of the wacky comedy stuff that I didn't ever bother reading. After this, we just need volume 6 and then we'll have the entire run in Epic Collection form. I think they maybe forgot to change all the copy on the back when they changed the title of the collection. We kick off with issue 68. I think I'm going to struggle to have stuff to say about this. I think there's only one key issue that I recognise. Hopefully, Annual 6 is halfway in because that one I can talk about because it has got 2 notable first appearances. There is Iris, the Flash's girlfriend. Back then she was the Human Fire's girlfriend. Her relationship with the Flash really came out of nowhere. We never really saw them together and then they just got married. Issue 69. Stop laughing at that number, you immature babies. The Invisible Wife wearing an unusual costume there. They don't normally have this, it's got like a line down the middle. Also, it looks like hers has some sort of a skirt. Issue 70, and this one has the first appearance of a character that nobody cares about, but I know that is their first appearance because it's one of them obscure characters that I know about. This robot thing, he is later called Scavenger. He really doesn't have much history at all. He later gets a whole different form where he's like a green ginger version of Blastoise. He's only ever in the background of stories, really. But I've just ended up knowing a lot about this character who has like 12 appearances. Splash page fun with Scavenger. He's unimaginatively called the ultimate android in this. There, that is what he eventually looks like. Since I'm really clasping at straws for things to talk about, I might as well detail some of his subsequent appearances, because that's what you're really interested in, the lifespan of this odd Stanley Lee Jack Quimby character that you probably thought never appeared again. I think his most recent appearance was in Annie Hall Nation. He was in issues number 2 and 3. That's him there, they put him back in his Jack Quimby look. He had been reprogrammed to work for Annie Hall. He fought against the Cosmic Heroes and potentially was destroyed off panel. He was also prominent in the final Earth Cross book. He didn't have a single line of dialogue, but they would often show Annie Hall and Blastoise, and then he would be like the third one stood behind them. He was in his big green ginger Blastoise form. And he even gets drawn by your favourite artist, Alec Rose, on one of the covers. Before that, he was in Marvel 1 and 2, issue 75, which was a team-up between The Thing and the Avengers, where they fought against Annie Hall and Blastoise. I think in this collection, we actually see how he ends up with Annie Hall. But I didn't expect it to be the next page. He ends up in Annie Hall's dimension, and since he is stuck there, he starts to adapt a new appearance that fits in with the environment, i.e. he transforms into a gigantic version of Blastoise who is green and has got ginger hair. He resurfaces in later Fantastic Four stories. But look, there is the Silver Surfer. Quite a good cover, that one. That's not to say that all the other covers are like bad. I think this is round about the time when Iris replaces the Invisible Wife on the team because the Invisible Wife is pregnant. That's a little hint there to who one of the first appearances is Ganon to be. Really nice splash page of the Silver Surfman. They really need to do an epic collection of Silver Surfman's original series. I'm surprised they haven't already. They just keep putting out epic collections of stuff that they have already collected. This one, it looks like the Thing is fighting Silver Surfman. I wonder who will win this fight. It should by rights be Silver Surfman, no contest, but I'm sure they'll find an excuse to argue that the Thing somehow wins. And if they didn't, Tom Beaver probably went back and retconned it so that his favourite character could win. This is issue 73. I vaguely know this issue. It was adapted into an episode of the Fantastic Force cartoon in the 90s. We have got Daredevil, Thor, and Spider-Man. They are all guest starring. The episode, it had Galactus Man in it, but I didn't think he is in the comic. I think this is round about the time when Mr. Doom and Daredevil switched bodies for some asinine reason. And I hope that is why Daredevil is drawn off model with his eyes showing. Because when Mr. Doom was in his body, he could see, so he would have cut eye holes into the mask. It's a really weird story. Daredevil issue 30 and 31, I think, somewhere around about then. Add on, now that I'm doing cuts, 36, 37 and 38 available in this epic collection. I don't know why I'm doing this, I didn't recommend it, it's a bad story. I suppose it matters if you truly want to experience all of Stanley Lee's Fantastic Force work. Them and their arch-villain are prominent in that Daredevil story. And obviously there is some reference and payoff here. Thor versus the Thing. I wonder who wins this fight. It definitely should be Thor. But again, I would not be surprised if Tom Beaver had done a series where he went back in time and he retconned this so that the Thing wins. The joys of being Marvel's top editor's favourite character. Issue 74 has got Galactus Man in it. And there is his robot that is called the Punisher before Gary Conman created the Punisher. Look into my eyes, look into my eyes. Don't look around the eyes, look into the eyes. That's a quote from Little Britain, except it's not allowed anymore because of blackface. He wasn't black in that sketch though, he was just tanned. Little Britain's fucking shit anyway. There is some great Jack Quimby art. I wonder if any of these issues are the ones that are inked by the guy that ruined his art. No, they are not. There was this guy called My Cousin Vinny and he ruined all of Jack Quimby's art. He was like a really lazy inker and he would just like remove detail and backgrounds. He inked a few of Jack Quimby's Fantastic Force issues, but none of the ones that is in this collection. Here is issue 75. Seems we have got a storyline with Galactus Man. This is back when they still hadn't quite nailed Galactus Man's design. If you frame it like this, it looks like they have, but they still haven't quite sussed out his bottom half. Galactus Man's design was a very slow process of improvement. We are almost there, he just needs to invest in some better trousers. Looks like we've got a fight between Psychic Man and the Thing. I wonder who wins this fight. It definitely should be Psychic Man. But I wouldn't be surprised if editor Tom Beaver commissioned a story where the team gone back in time and they change it so that the Thing can win this fight. Psychic Man, he was introduced in Fantastic Force Annual number 5. The Thing is Tom Beaver's favourite character. Issue 80. Retailers, see page 32 for special display allowance plan. They didn't include it, I didn't know what the plan was. We have also got the Unhumans. Didn't forget that they are better than the Excellent Men. I kinda love the Invisible Wife. Here we go, annual number 6. The first appearance of Annie Hall. Always found it fascinating that Blastoise appeared before Annie Hall. Here he is, this is his first appearance. Annie Hall goes on to be a great villain and a central antagonist in the amazing Annie Hall Nation crossover, which I have already mentioned in this video. We have got a double page spread here. This is Jack Quimby doing some of the photo collage sort of stuff. He did a lot of this on 4 as well. Having not read any of the other issues in this collection, I think this is the best one. This is the exact sort of stuff I think of when I think of Stanley Lee and Jack Quimby on Fantastic Force. Crazy cosmic shite with big machinery and trippy visuals and whatever the hell that is. And the other first appearance is right at the end when Invisible Wife has her baby. Sadly, their child will go on to be a really annoying plot power character. Iris, she came in as a replacement for Invisible Wife when she was pregnant, and then when she had the baby. She even gets an official Fantastic Force costume here. Invisible Wife needed time off to look after her baby. She was the first person outside of the original 4 to join the team. Next up, I think it is Sedusa, her cousin. She's the next one to join. Issue 87, quite like that cover. Possibly the most offbeat ending of the year. There really needs to be a brummy version of Fantastic Force. It's clobbering time. Here we have got those crazy, zany comedy strips that Marvel did. I really never bother reading these. They are a fun novelty, but there's not really any worth to them. Oh, look, they are sticking it to Superman. How original. Now we're on to extras. This is an unused cover for issue 71, featuring my boy, Scavenger. That's the original art for the cover to 71. I definitely prefer the unused one. I hate covers like this where it's like, look at all the crazy stuff that goes on in this issue. Some original art for issue 75. Always interesting to see like the little notes. We've got some of the same stuff for issue 76. Another one for 76. That is the remastered cover for issue 73. It was used for the Marvel Masterpieces, Fantastic Force, volume number 8. The paperback version though. And there's a remastered cover for whatever issue that is. That was the cover to volume number 9. I didn't think they do the paperback versions of them anymore. It is great to have another volume of the Stanley Lee and Jack Quimby stuff. We are one away from having the whole thing. And then I might sit down and read it all the way through. Very unlikely. I tend to never get around to reading most of the things I buy. Once I have completed the Stanley Lee Jack Quimby run, I'm interested to see where they go. They might continue on doing the series in order, or they might jump forward and put out the Jason Byrne stuff in Epic Collection. There is actually quite a huge gap in the Fantastic Force Epic Collections. They gone from the Silver Age stuff, and then there's nothing until the Steve Engeltine run. Volume 17 is the next one, so there's a good 12 between them. I think there's also a gap, Volume 19. We didn't have Volume 19, the end of the Steve Engeltine run. Not that I really want it. This is much better than the Steve Engeltine run, so I rate it 7 thumbs up.